think I am. Just minimize that. I am live. Hey, gang. Can't be all too jovial right now. My hat is in hand, apologizing. It seems my email today. So there's my, my formal explanation. I'm not just going to apologize and say, hey, oh, well, my bad. I'm going to explain myself. And I am going to, certainly I do, without qualification, just say sorry, right? I absolutely do regret sending out that email. But I'm not just going to say that, I'm going to explain myself. So first off, it did come from Naomi, and that is not the person who sent the email. I did, all right? I sent the email. Even if it did come from Naomi, the buck stops with me. So anything that comes from my company comes from me. But in this case, it didn't even come from Naomi. It came from me. I did it at 2 o'clock in the morning, and which is 4 a.m. your time, 2 a.m. here in WA. And the words were written by a copywriter. That's no excuse, though, because I critiqued those words. I approved those words. I inserted those words into our email program. I proofed them. I actually liked them, and I clicked send. And it did come from Naomi's email. So anyone who took offense at Naomi Twyford, please direct that offense at Glenn Twiddle. That's the first thing. So unreservedly, Glenn Twiddle gets responsibility for that email. So now as to the tone, I do want you guys, if you're on, to know the tone of that email. Oh, I wanted to record this. Bugger. All right, doesn't matter. It's going live, so you'll see it. So this was the email. I'm going to read it out. The subject line was "You're number 4," as in you are number 4, with a little hashtag and a number 4. So it was quite an attention-getting email, it seems, because the open rate and the cranky rate was a little bit higher than normal in every way. In fact, it's probably a good lesson we might talk about later after I've finished explaining myself. I might even give a bit of a lesson on what that really means to us. So it's your number 4. Got to be straight with you the only way I know how. We have a problem, first name. That means we have a problem, and then whatever your name is. We have a problem, Mark. We have a problem, Luke. We have a problem. And I can't see my live at the moment, so I don't know who's on or whether people are on there saying, damn straight, Glenn, you should be sorry, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it's regarding this morning's email. So if you got it, you know the email I mean. If you didn't, you might want to check your email, or you might have already unsubscribed. Don't know. But anyway, it said, got to be straight with you. The only way I know how. We have a problem, first name. I mean, we have a problem, you. Maybe you don't care, but I do. Our team, Glenn and I, have emailed you a bunch of times, and we've been paying Facebook, Instagram, you name it, to show you our ads about Glenn's mother of all offers bundle. It all began during this Corona madness. We wanted to give you the best offer we could possibly think of, one that was so good that it made us look stupid. Nobody gets mad at me when I say stupid. Stupid. It made us look stupid. The one we came up with, that's the offer that we came up with, 1, made our entire team uncomfortable. 2, peed some people off because they paid 99 times more for the same thing. 3, made others love us because it was a dream come true. And 4, had some people extremely skeptical. Now that, and then it says you must be under the 4th category. That's where the subject line comes in, you're number 4, in that, and because what I'm doing there. Now, remember, this email went out to 40,000 of my marketplace, 40,000. So statistically, even though I regret every single one of them, and anyone who replied with anyone who just replied F off, they've unsubscribed, we've unsubscribed them, and they'll never be annoyed by me again. So that's fine. In fact, job done. I'm glad that's the case. But for the people who took the time to actually write what offended them about this email, then they'll be getting a personal response from me and a personal apology from me. If you took the time to do that, then I will take the absolute time to say, no excuse, sorry. So anyway, the one we came up with, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and number 4 was the one I was interested that had people extremely skeptical. You must fall under the 4th category because you, number 1, don't work, bullet points then, don't work on our team, don't have access to all our courses, and didn't purchase the deal. So this is only going to the people who didn't buy this deal where I've got $47 for my life's work. So it's really a bit of a damper on the whole thing, given that the feedback from this promotion has been astronomically well received, because literally I'm giving over $10,000 worth of value, and it ends tonight at midnight. And that's why, I'm sort of thinking on the last day to get some mud slung at Naomi, even if it is deservedly so, because the email is a bit forward. It's a bit of a damper on the whole thing. But anyway, didn't purchase the deal. You must fall under the fourth category because you don't work on our team, you don't have access to all of our courses, and you didn't purchase the deal. And then it says, so what's your problem? LOL. Right? So it is saying, so what's your problem? It's not saying, so what's your problem, man? It's kind of saying, so what's your problem? It's joking. It is kind of supposed to be humorous almost. So what's your problem? LOL. It's every single one of Glenn's courses collectively worth over $10,000 for less than the cost of a carton of Corona beer. They were all boycotting that after this rubbish anyway. These trainings mean everything to us, and Glenn spent several $1 million to the talent contained in them for their information. They pretty much give you every tip, trick, step through and walk through of what we've been able to get, how we've been able to get agents like you in areas like yours for the last 10 years. The contents of these courses at this price is a real estate agent's dream, and you don't want it, ? The main reason I'm writing you is to warn that the offer is ending. So this might be your last chance ever to get these courses for under $50 or even under $5,000. So stop questioning it. You're on our email list because you know you can learn at least one thing from us that will help you make, at minimum, your small investment back. Click here to get what's in the mother of all offers, what's in the deal, blah, blah, blah. So that's it. All right. So I believe the things that were offensive were the words, we have a problem, then your name. Maybe you don't care, but I do. That's some of the copy that was used. We have a problem, Mark. Maybe you don't care, but I do. And it was coming from Naomi. And so she was called passive aggressive. And again, so that means it's not her, it's me. Or it's our copywriter that I take full responsibility for. I approved, and frankly, I liked. So it's me that needs it was passive aggressive. So the only things I can think that caused the offense that it did, but clearly it did, was we have a problem, X, your name. Maybe it was the fact that it was personalized because we had the first name filler in there. You know how in your mail merging program, if they're in your database, you can insert their name. Maybe it was that. We have a problem, blah, blah, blah. And you read it, we have a problem, Mark. Maybe you don't care, but I do. Maybe that was the tone with which it was read. Or it might have been, so what's your problem, LOL? Yeah, you know what? As I read this, what I apologize for and regret deeply is the 7 people who took the time to write an actual response of some substance to us. Now, you know what? 7 out of email list of 40,000 statistically is 0. You know what I mean? It is. But that being said, each one of those 7 means something to me. So I'm going to reach out to them one-on-one and respond to them personally. But that being said, some lessons. And I do unreservedly apologize. But there's a bit of a lesson there as well, isn't there? It also, as well as offending 7 people, of which I'm going to heart in hand, and that's what I'm doing, I'm apologizing. Maybe this is a lesson for everyone, that whenever you put out any piece of marketing, and by the way, this is an apology to the real estate industry that cops this sort of stuff. So there's a lesson in this for all of us, that understand in your marketplace of, say, so you might not have an email list of 40,000, you might have a patch of 1,000. No matter what you do, there's going to be 50 of that 1,000 that despise you. Chris Gilmore's an example. He's got this guy that's in his marketplace that put a sign up saying, no more junk mail from this guy. He's got Chris's face there saying, especially from this guy. So there are some people in Chris's market that not only don't particularly like him, that despise him to the point where they'll say, no junk mail, especially from Chris, So there might be 50 people in his area that hate him. Well, there's maybe 800 people in his area that one way or the other either lean towards not liking him, lean towards digging him, thinking he's a champion, but in one way or the other don't really have an opinion one way or the other. They're in the middle. Don't like, don't hate. But then there's 150 people a year that like him enough to pay him $10,000, $15,000 commission check. So, because he makes about 150 odd sales a year. So that's the point, I suppose, for all of this is if 7 people complained with, some verbose, There's about 12 to 15 people that replied with some swearing at me. And I think, wait a minute, you took offense at, and again, this is not me. This is just a lesson that we might learn. But isn't it interesting that they took offense at me saying, we have a problem, Mark, or whatever their name is, maybe you don't care, but I do. Because that's all I can see that's passive aggressive. That we have a problem person, maybe you don't care, but I do. And yet they'll respond to a woman, because remember, they thought this came from Naomi, with profanity. Maybe that says more about the person than it does about Naomi or about me or about our company, But I still unreservedly apologize to that person. I wish I didn't offend them. We're going through enough at this time, for me to purposefully go out and annoy people. But I suppose the thing is that I regret upsetting 7 people. The hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people that one way or the other don't kind of care. But you know what? 400 people have taken me up on this offer. 400. People have said, that's a great deal. Thank you. So this has gotten me a whole bunch of new customers, and it's reinforced my value to a whole bunch of current customers. So whilst I regret that one particular email, and I do unreservedly make this apology, the only thing that I would have changed about this is maybe that one sentence. That's probably all. I probably would have put a smiley face. You know what? I probably was one smiley face emoji, a winking emoji, away from not offending anyone. Interesting. And at 2 a.m, the last thing I was thinking about was that I just wanted to get today's email done so I could hit the beach with the dog and all of that stuff, because I only got out of house arrest this morning. I literally got out of house arrest this morning. I've been locked up for 14 days. And again, that's no excuse either, but I just wanted to get to the beach with the dog. So at 2 or 3 in the morning or whenever I was up, that's when I did the email so that I could get ready and go and do some stuff and then be on the beach at dawn with the dog. So, but again, I reckon maybe that's all it was one smiley face emoji. Anyway, I'm going to get on the phone, make some calls, apologizing to those 7. I might even apologize to the people who swore at us, because I don't want anyone feeling ill will about our brand, about our company. There is something to that in every marketplace, if there's a 40,000 strong database and it's now 20 less than it was, well, okay, maybe that was inevitable anyway. Maybe I was going to offend them at some stage anyway. And anyway, let me see. Actually, I will go to Facebook now and I'll see if you guys have any thoughts about any of this rambling. All right. I didn't even check to see if it was even working. I hope it was. All right. Let's have a look. Trevor said, not seen any email today. All right, let me have a look. If you've got any comments, please pop them down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you did, because, oh yeah, one of the points that I was wanting to make is that if 7 people emailed, then probably 70 felt offense but didn't email. You know what I mean? It's probably, for every compliment you get, there's probably 10 people that didn't compliment you that feel good about the world. And for every criticism you get, there's probably 10 people that feel that way that you did. I've heard it called the cockroach theory, that if you see one, there's 10 under the floorboards that you didn't see. So, it's not just 7 who are cranky. It's probably 70, and I just wish I could know who those 63 are that didn't identify themselves. And some of them, of course, identified themselves with profanity. But yeah, I just wish there was a way that I could, apologize to the ones that I'll never hear from. They're the ones that I truly regret. So, all right. So Mick Evans, g'day, Glenn. We met when Arnold was out. Nice, mate. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Nice to meet you as well. All righty. Alex says, no offense was taken here. Twiddleinator, all good, mate. Thank you, sir. Ben says, none taken here. I thought I had it all already anyway. Yeah, Ben, I think you bought early in the piece. Did you get, so that's interesting. Ben, you got the email because I excluded everyone's email who'd already bought. Like I went to the exclude section. So maybe no, I'm sure I did that. I'm sure it excluded those ones. Let me just have a look. Did it do that? It went to those segments. And yeah, it excluded the buyers. So that's interesting. Maybe there was an email, maybe you got 2 emails, maybe one's on my database and you bought through another one perhaps Perhaps. I don't know, Ben. All right, Graham Cat says, it's okay, it was your robot. Nah, man, it was my copywriter and me. It wasn't the bot. It was us. Carolyn says, I didn't get the email. Well, it seems you missed a treat, Carolyn. And Trevor said, I haven't seen any email today. A different Carolyn said, no offense taken, understand it's just a way to get people's attention and a call to action. That's exactly right, Carolyn. That is exactly right. And Ben said, yep, I still got it. That's interesting because that email program was meant to exclude anyone who purchased the program. I just wonder if it's on that email. And Raylene says, I bought and I didn't get an email. Yeah, well, it seems that's a good thing, Raylene, because it seems it was highly offensive. Well, no, it wasn't highly offensive, but it seems it was offensive enough that some people took offense, and that's never what I want. I like getting attention. Sure, that's our job, is to get attention, but I don't like upsetting people. That's never my intention. Trevor said, no matter what you said, no one should abuse anyone. Yeah, I agree, Trevor. It doesn't change the fact that I am unreservedly saying to those people that I offended that I regret it. But I also agree with you. I wish, I've just got to let it go. That I've just got to release anything, because when we say something that may be that much offensive, perhaps, and we get back profanity and abuse to a woman, and I'm not even being sexist there, or maybe I am being a little bit sexist there, that tell me to F off all you want. But hitting reply to a woman that's clear, to an email that's clearly from a female is inappropriate and possibly says, a whole bunch. But anyway, I'm not here to judge. I'm here to say sorry. And Antonina says, haven't been following you, but will now because of your authentic apology. Well, thank you. That's very, very nice. I must, I'm going to like that, and I'm going to make sure I reply to that, because I'm going to send you something that's very nice of you. Thank you. Wow, there's another lesson there, that if you do authentically, I'm just going to put wow there on your comment, just so that reminds me to look you up, and to, if you're in the industry in any way, shape or form, then your business details will be there on the internet, and keep an eye on your reception for a gift in the next coming days. That's really nice of you. Antonina, hope I get that pronunciation right. Antonina, thank you. That's very nice. And that also serves to my students, people who follow me, that maybe it's not the worst thing in the world to, if you stuff up, to say sorry, because in Antonina's case, I might have lost 7, but it seems I gained a person who kind of, who appreciated, I suppose, just regretfully saying, hey, my bad. It's okay to kind of say that, if because I never want to hurt anyone's feelings. All right, cool. So there you go. So at least you guys who are following me on Facebook Live aren't hanging me a little bit. And so happy days. All right. Thanks a million, gang, for letting me get that out. I will now send an email out because the last email that my database got was from Naomi with that one. So I'm now going to send out, I might even just send this apology video out to the database, just saying sorry. And all right, gang, on Facebook Live, thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. To all the people who did grab that offer, much appreciated. And it allows us to get some information into your hands that otherwise used to cost a significant amount of money. And you guys know that, for the cost of a carton of Corona beer, you get my life's work. So, all right, may have tainted the promo a tiny bit, but I hope that, at least for some of you guys, you can accept my my unreserved regret and apologies, and see you on the next one. Bye for now, gang.